welcome to round 3 of the British Mini Bikes here at Fulbeck in Lincolnshire. I'm Sophie McGinn and let's take a look at today's awesome racing. So joining me now is one of the fastest girls in the paddock, Abs Thomas. Abs, tell me a little bit about how you've been going on today.
Well, yesterday we struggled a bit and then we've just been working a bit on the bike and the lines on the track, and now it's getting faster. We were doing like normal times and now we're just getting a bit faster as we go on.
So how did you find the last round at Teesside? I know you had a little bit of a struggle out there.
It was probably the best race I've ever been in. It was really good until I crashed. We were both going really fast, but it wasn't anyone's fault. I just went into his back tyre.
Oh, I just did a little mistake and that was it, out of the race.
Did a little handstand and everything.
Well, good stuff. Hopefully there won't be any handstands out here at Fulbeck today.
Hopefully not, because I need to get back in the championship now.
So we're just going to grab a quick word with George Fisher, who currently runs in the junior supermoto class. Now, George, you seem to have had a little problem with your bike today. Tell me what's been going on.
Going down straight and over revving it dropped a valve.
Oh, nice. It looks like it's caused a little bit of damage to the bike. Do you think you'll be able to get out for the rest of today or not?
Not on that one, but we borrowed somebody else's bike, Alex Latham's.
Oh, good. Now, how are you finding the track? I know you were riding yesterday as well.
Finding the track fine. I've been here 4 or 5 times and it's my favourite track.
The junior Supermoto 140 class is a natural progression for riders aged between 9 and 15 years old, all running stock machines with up to 14 brake horsepower. This class allows the riders the opportunity to develop as racers and improve on their lap times before moving into the senior classes. So the flag drops for our first race of the day, junior SM 140. Charging down the front straight for the first time. It's a drag race into the first corner. You'll see just how long that start straight is, and just about taking the lead into the first corner. Charlie Heron's very, very close indeed though, with Abs Thomas right on his tail. George Fisher and George Hopper also in there as well. They go into this really tight chicane, almost like the old bus stop chicane at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Very tight technical part of the circuit, and really does break up the speed of the riders as the leading pack now make their way towards the back of the circuit. And we saw just how fast things were on the first few corners, and then it really does start to tighten up now. We've got this really tight left-hander into the right-hand hairpin. It's very, very slow indeed, and a little bit tight and technical. But then as they go into the front straight, you'll see it really does open up, and its potential overtaking opportunities down the front straight as Abs Thomas lines up the race leader. Charlie Heron's for lead, goes down the inside, and Abs Thomas takes the lead down the inside. Brave move on the brakes there, just about outbraked Heron's, and Abs Thomas is your new race leader. So Thomas, who of course had a terrible round last time out at Teesside, took a big tumble whilst battling for the lead, and is fighting back in the very best way possible as she grabs the lead from Charlie Heron's in second place. It looks like could well be George Fisher and George Hopper in there as well amongst the front runners. Adam Blackwell, Earl Stevenson a little bit further behind, and then Kira Williamson, Maddie Williams, James Thornton and Max Bartle a little bit further behind, as Heron's looks a bit quicker out to the final few corners and starts to line up Thomas down the front straight. Tries to have a look down the inside, but Thomas guards that inside line, moves across to her right of the track, our left, and has guarded that inside line so that Heron's can't do any sort of outbraking into the 180-degree right-hand hairpin. They make their way back towards us as Thomas starts to pull away at the front, and then into this really tight technical part. Through the chicane they go, and the lead has still got a clear track in front of them with, it looks like Fisher or Hopper, they're also shadowing in third place, back up towards the top of the course now. Things really start to tighten up somewhat And it looks like Heroes is a little bit quicker on the second half of the lap, although there is a back marker in front there, number 12, Max Bartle, but moves to one side and lets the leaders through. But Heroes looks quicker out to the final corner and lines Thomas up for the pass once again. Tries that right-hand side, but Thomas again guards that inside line, moves right across to the right-hand side of the course. It's all fair and legal, and down into the first corner they go, round the outside of James Thornton, the back marker, who moves to one side and lets the leaders through, holds his line. Good cooperation there from the back markers, and that means that this battle for the lead still rages at the front. They've got a clear track for now, but there are a couple of other back markers further up the field. It looks like Kira Williamson and Maddie Williams having their own little battle as well. And then into the top corner go the race leaders. Charlie Heron's trying to fight back again, but Abs Thomas, fastest lap of the race, 49.689. Only a few hundredths of a second faster than Heron, so the two leaders very, very evenly matched for pace. And Heron is going to try again down the back straight. He looks quicker out of those last few corners. Thomas a little bit faster on the front straight, and Thomas goes into the first corner, starts to pull away. And again, you'll see Thomas a little bit faster on the first half of the lap, although there are some back markers. They are going to come into play any moment now as we go in towards the final lap. Last chance now for Herons as Thomas starts to close up on the back markers. They go down the inside of Maddie Williams. But Herons hasn't got through. That's cost him valuable time. There's number 114, Kira Williamson, who Thomas needs to nip through and lap. And she does so. But it looks like Herons hasn't got past, and that's going to cost him valuable tenths of a second, so it's looking good for Abs Thomas as they make their way round the final corner, and Thomas is going to hold on to take the checkered flag. One more corner to go and she takes the win, so it's a win there for Abs Thomas from Charlie Herons in second place, George Fisher in third. In the pit bike stock 160 class, like all the other stock classes, all riders on the same specification of bike, running up to 160cc stock engines, providing fast, high-octane and adrenaline-filled racing action. So away go the pit bike 160. One rider left on the line there as the rest of the field charge through. Everyone misses that station rider who just about crawls away. And then the pack go charging into the first corner, and it looks like Ben Broadway gets the lead. Looks like Nick Edlin, Alex Thurston in there as well, 420, Matt Cox also amongst the front runners. But it's all incredibly close at the front. They go into the chicane, and they're going to have to be careful not to tangle on this first lap. Very fast and furious as they jostle for position. But it looks like Ben Broadway's just about got the lead. Looks like Nick Edlin in second place, and that's number 83 in third, Alex Thurston. He looks to try and get back amongst the leads. You'll see now they're starting to spread out at the front. They go into this really tight final series of corners, one of the slowest parts of the course, 72 in there as well. And Andrew Lloyd, Matt Cox, Beth Dodson, Neil Tinsley also in there in the midfield. And now they open up down the front straight once again as Broadway starts to pull away, but Edlin still charging in there in second place, with Alex Thurston shadowing in third. Also Nathan Jury, Matt Gambrell and Ricky Lee Davis in amongst the front runners as they go around that 180-degree right-hand hairpin and back down the back straight they go. Nick Edlin has a look down the inside of Broadway, but he shuts the door through the chicane. Would have been a bit of a brave move there into that chicane, but didn't quite come off for Edlin. And it's still very, very close indeed at the front. Alex Thurston just shadowing in third place as they make their way up to the very top of the course. Broadway trying to pull away as the midfield runners jostle position, and Broadway pulling a small gap, although it looks like Thurston started to close up in third. And still in there, number 420, Matt Cox is still in there amongst the front runners. They go into the front straight. And now Edlin starts to line up Broadway, has a look down the inside. Who's it going to be? Bravest on the brakes into that first corner, and Edlin takes the lead. Will he hold on? He runs a bit wide, and Broadway has a look down the inside, but not quite close enough as Nick Edlin holds on to the lead. It's still Alex Thurston there in third place. It looks like Thurston has set the fastest lap of the race, 52.585, and he's just shadowing there in third place as Edlin tries to pull away at the front. But Ben Broadway, early race leader, has other ideas and looks down the inside, and oh, Edlin seems to outbrake himself into that top corner, and that's all the invitation that Broadway needed to nip back through and take the lead as Edlin tries again into that really tight right-hander. Tried to get through as Thurston's looked down the inside. Oh, but he gets bulked there by Edlin. Loses valuable time, and Broadway starts to pull away down the front straight once again. And so this three-way scrap for the lead still rages. It looks like Nathan Dury, Matt Gambrell, Ricky Lee Davis also in there amongst the front runners. They go round that first right-hander, 180-degree hairpin corner. And it's all very close at the front as Edlin starts to drop back. It looks like Alex Thurston's on the charge now, trying to get there with Ben Broadway, who's starting to pull away ever so slightly. He's really picked up the pace now. Matt Gambrell, Ricky Lee Davis, Nathan Dury in there as well. And still 6 or 7 riders still in with a shout of this race as we go into the latter stages of the race. Thurston trying to close up on Broadway as they go into the top corner, and as you can see, all incredibly close at the front. 5 riders still in there with a shout, but Broadway has led the majority of the race and starts to pull away down the front straight, all getting very close with those 6 riders now down the front straight. There's Thurston in second place, but not close enough to try and outbrake Broadway into the first corner, and they make their way back along the back straight through towards the chicane. And Broadway really looks determined now as he goes flying through that chicane to complete another lap with that whole train of riders behind him, but no one at the moment can get quite close enough to challenge Broadway for the lead. They go into the top part of the course now as it really starts to slow down and get a bit more technical. We see the pack start to bunch up a little bit there into those hairpin corners, and then into this really tight series of chicanes at the final few corners. They make their way back up towards the finish line, and Broadway still continues to lead the way and takes the checkered flag. Thurston dropping out in the latter stages, which means that Nick Edlin brings it home in second place from Nathan Dury, Matt Gambrell and Ricky Lee Davis in fifth.
So joining me now is one of the paddock favourites, Matthew Bolsover. Now Matt, tell me how your round went the last time we were here.
Teesside was enjoyable but a bit difficult for me. It's a big track and it's a lot to get used to first and second time round. Not really many excuses to put him away, but yeah, it went okay rather than great.
Good stuff. Now tell me a little bit about the bikes that you're riding today. I know you're doing something a little bit different for a change.
I'm doubling up today. I've got a Bucci from Steve Cardin at Super Lights, and I've got my classic KLX. I'm riding the 140 in the 140s and the 160s. And trying as hard as I can. I'm also doing Maxxis tyres for Alan as well, so I'm going to try them out today and see how they get on.
In the PITBIKE stock 160 class, like all the other stock classes, all riders on the same specification of bike, running up to 160cc stock engines, providing fast, high-octane and adrenaline-filled racing action. So here we go with PITBIKE 160 Group A, big group of riders down the front straight for the first time. And who's it going to be that's bravest on the brakes? Here they come charging into the first corner. On board here with Jake Shepherd, who's currently in 4th place as they charge round the first corner. And as you can see, really fast, furious battles in the midfield. They battle for position. Shepherd having a look down the inside. I think that may possibly be Chris Fabian in 3rd place. So it's either Jim Lovell or Matt Bowles, I believe. They could well be Lovell. Let's just double check. Yes, indeed it is. Number 97, Jim Lovell, your early race leader, as they go into this tight chicane section at the very top of the track. The midfield runners battling for position a bit further back. But it's all starting to break into some kind of order at the front as Jim Lovell leads the way down the back straight, but Bolsover breaking away but in 2nd place. And at the moment it looks like a straight fight between the top 2 as Jake Shepherd drops behind a little bit as he chases after Chris Fabian in that 3rd position. But Lovell leads them down the back straight through towards the chicane to start another lap. Flying into the chicane with Bolsover right on his tail, and Bolsover keeping the pressure on in 2nd place. And those 2 leaders starting to pull away a bit now from the rest of the pack. Looks like Chris Fabian, Jake Shepherd, our onboard rider, Bradley Tapper and Lawrence Wardle also in there amongst the front runners. And as we cut back towards the top section, we can see that Lovell still maintaining that gap at the front, but Bolsover shadowing him there in 2nd place. And the curbside camera, great view of the action. They can see just how fast they're going around these final few corners down the front straight. And once again, the top two really starting to pull away. And Lovell, your race leader, there he is, number 97, has got just about enough to prevent Bolsover from outbraking him into that first corner, the right-hand hairpin. They go back towards chicane, and Lovell starts to pull a small gap at the front. The top two, once again, they are breaking away. Chris Fabian and Jake Shepherd, our onboard rider, having a really close battle of the third, a little bit further back. But here at the front, you can see now the leaders starting to pull away yet again. Patrick O'Connor also in there as well. 4-2-1, the machine there of Matt Bolsover starting to close up on Lovell as they go down the back straight once again. But Lovell starts to pull away round that final corner, gets the drive down the front straight, and pulls a very small gap from Bolsover. Bolsover again, he can't quite get close enough to outbrake Lovell. And Lovell gets back on the power along the back straight up towards the chicane. And here they come once again. And Lovell getting those apexes on the chicane absolutely perfect. The midfield runners there having a bit of a scrap there. Number 57, David Wales, a bit further back, and switch back there to Jim Lovell, the race leader. There's the slower rider, looks like number 8, the machine of Richard Barnes, and nips past Barnes. They're starting to get in towards the tail enders now, into that first corner. As you can see, the back markers could play a part here. There's 3 riders having their own battle as Lovell has a quick glance over the shoulder to see where his nearest driver is. There we see Lovell, and there's the back marks in front. It's all very tight with that midfield scrap. Headed there by number 88, Darren Savage, Stuart Palethorpe, David Wells in there as well. But it's all getting very tight now as Lovell starts to thread his way through the back markers, but he is starting to pull away from Bolsover in second place, who can't quite get through the back markers. But now he's through, he's clear, and has a look down the inside of Jim Lovell. Now who's it going to be that leads them round the final corner as Bolsover has a look down the inside, and this could be his moment. Here's Jim Lovell, your race leader. He's got slower riders in front of him, and Bolsover has a look down the outside, takes the lead. So number 4-2-1, Matt Bolsover takes the lead from Lovell, and Lovell tries to fight back as one of the back markers goes down, the back end goes out, and he loses the back end on that first corner. But now back at the front, here we see some very, very close leading action here. Number 97, Jim Lovell, as he starts to close. As Bolsover makes a mistake, the back end washed out on him there. Has he stayed on the bike? We'll find out in a moment. Yes, he has, but he's lost valuable time to number 97, Jim Lovell, who takes the lead following that mistake from Bolsover. They make their way round through the final few corners. Jim Lovell now clear in the front and leading the way, and takes the checkered flag. So it's a race win for Jim Lovell with Matt Bolsover in second place. Chris Fabian brings it home in third.
So joining me down on the grid is Sandy Horn. Now Sandy, tell me how you've been getting on with your mini moto this morning.
It's been all right. Yesterday in practice, had a 60 sprocket at the back, which meant there was only one straight that I could get enough speed, like full speed. But now we've got a 62 in the back, so it's much quicker now, and I'm doing all right now.
Good. And how are you finding the circuit? I know it's obviously a little bit different to what we've been used to riding.
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good that because I used to do karting, which means that I've done this track before, so I know this track. So that's good.
You think you're going to have a bit of an advantage then out there today?
Yes.
The Mini Moto 4.2 class is where all of today's professional riders started their racing careers. With 40cc air-cooled engines, this class allows riders between the ages of 6 and 13 to take their first steps towards being Britain's next star in motorcycle racing. So here we go with the Mini Motos, the green flag drops, and they jostle for position down the front straight for the first time. A little bit of a slightly shorter circuit here for the Mini Motos. They've got that chicane on the first lap, and let's see who leads the way. Very, very close indeed. Looks like Ross Maguire, Jack Hart, Stephen Belford well placed in the heavies class. Troy Jeffrey and Mason Johnston leading the way in the lights. They go through the chicane for the first time, battling for position on this opening lap, and they make their way up towards the top chicane. All very close at the front. The top 6 or 7 only covered by a few seconds. And then we saw Sandy Hornwell placed in around 3rd place. It looks like Ross Maguire starting to pull away. Sandy Horn through into 2nd position. And Maguire charging away round that final corner on the front straight to start the 2nd lap, and starting to pull a small gap as they go through the chicane. That chicane added for the mini motos. Slight different layout to the other race classes. And Ross Maguire now starting to pull away slightly as they go through the hairpin. Has a quick glance over the shoulder, and he's got a nice little gap there at the front. As he starts to pull away from the chasing pack, you can see he's got a gap of around 1.5–2 seconds, and then 2nd through to about 7th place are covered. You could almost throw blankets over that chasing pack. It's very, very close indeed. Still headed by the looks of things by Sandy Horn. Just about holds on to that 2nd place as the rest of the field go charging through. No problems though whatsoever for Ross Maguire as he starts to pull away at the front. With Jack Hart looking strong as he starts to fight his way through the field, and it looks like Hart to set the fastest lap of the race, 55.129. But Maguire has got that advantage. And then you see that chasing pack there, all scrapping for position still, and it looks to me like Jack Hart could have gone through into 2nd place. We'll wait and see as they come back towards us. Well, that's number 52 actually. Ethan Belford has gone through into 2nd. It's all very, very close indeed, almost too close to call with this scrap here. And look at that, around 6 or 7 bikes scrapping for that 2nd place. None of this, of course, bothering the race leader, Ross Maguire, as he goes in towards the slower part of the course. And then this really close scrap for 2nd place as Belford starts to pull away. Sandy Horn, he was there in 3rd, but that could well be Jack Hart going through into 3rd position. Ross Maguire, though, still with that gap. Belford in 2nd. Could well be Jack Hart in 3rd. Starting to close up on the 2nd place rider, Ethan Belford. As they go down the front straight once again, you can see that gap that Ross Maguire has at the front. They nip into the chicane. Slows the riders down momentarily. Down the front straight they go into that long 180-degree right-hand hairpin, and Maguire still leads away. Belford in 2nd place. So Sandy Horn dropping to 3rd. And here they come back towards, there's Belford in 2nd place, but still at the front, Ross Maguire. 55 seconds, his fastest lap time of the race so far. Looking in very good form at the moment. He maintains that gap at the front. Belford in 2nd. It looks like Hart in 3rd. Horn dropping to 4th place, and the whole gaggle of riders going through there. Aidan Davey, Dylan Mellor, Troy Jeffrey in the battle as well, a little bit further back in the lightweight class. But Ross Maguire looking very strong at the front as he maintains that gap. Still scrapping away behind him, and nobody able to close up on Ross Maguire, the race leader, as they go round that hairpin. Looks like Belford still in 2nd place from Hart in 3rd. Sandy Horn, Aidan David a little bit further behind as that battle for 2nd place starts to intensify. They broke away from the rest of the field, and they're starting to close up now on Ross Maguire. 2nd and 3rd place not really scrapping for position so far, which means that Maguire starts to pull away at the front, and there he goes through once again. Belford in 2nd, and there's a back marker in front for Maguire as he goes down the front straight once again. Moves for position, but it's going to be okay because he takes the checkered flag, and it's a race win for Ross Maguire from Jack Hart. Even Belford in 3rd.
So we're down here on the PITBIKE Vets grid, and joining me is Martin Cockayne. Now, Martin, tell me how your Teesside round went.
Really good, yeah, really pleased with it. I wasn't expecting to do as well as I did, but you know, considering it's a fast track and I got beaten around a bit, but it was good. Yeah, I enjoyed every minute of it. Loved the place.
Well, you looked like you were flying around there. Every time I saw you, you were just gone.
Yeah, it was great. I can't complain about anything. It was ace, and I've not touched the bike since.
So, more of the same this weekend then?
Well, I hope so. Yeah, you never know, do you, until the checkered flag goes, but we'll see. I'll do my best.
So joining me now on the pit bike vets grid is my dad. Now, tell me how you found the Fulbeck circuit this morning.
Okay, nice and smooth, but if anyone asks, I'm not here. Okay, so it's not really me, so, I'm hiding.
For riders over the age of 40, the Pit Bike Veterans is made up of ex-national club racing champions and seasoned racers. With bikes running under the same regulation as the Open Pit Bike class, this grid is where experience and true racecraft is showcased. So here we go with the Pit Bike Vets. Down the front straight they go for the first time. Big group of riders in this one, and it's going to be very tight into the first corner. One rider gets the jump, could well be Martin Cockayne, the race leader. 65 Gary McQueen in second. But a good clean start, no incidents on the first corner as they make their way through the chicane for the first time. And again, in this midfield, it's going to get very tight indeed. But Martin Cockayne, your early race leader, starts to pull away through the chicane. And then behind him, a whole train of riders jostling for position. Gary McQueen, Jimmy Kimbo looks like in third. And Kimbo has a look down the inside of McQueen, but can't quite get through. As the race leader, Martin Cockayne, starts to pull away through the chicane for the first time. Got that small gap, just a couple of seconds, but that's all that matters on the first lap. As he starts to pull away past the curb camera, he goes back on the power, and down the front straight he goes with the leaders chasing in his wake. But Martin Cockayne, already with one lap completed, has already pulled out to several seconds at the front as he makes his way up towards the first corner, that long drag down the front straight. And he's cleared away at the front as the leading riders start to battle for position. Second through to fourth, very, very close indeed, but they got no answer for the race leader so far. There he is once again. And Martin Cockayne all on his own at the front, trying to build up a gap before the back markers come into play later on in the race. And it looks like it's still Gary McQueen in second place. Richard Rice, Jimmy Kimbo also in there as well, John Robinson, Neil Olga, and Barry Holloway amongst the front runners. But no one's got any kind of answer for Martin Cockayne. He starts to close upon some of the tail end, as you see on the right-hand side of the track there. They'll be coming into range of the leader very soon. But you can see the determination there in the eyes of the race leader, Martin Cockayne, as he goes down the back straight once again. He's got that little chicane to go through, but gets to the apex, is perfect there, nice and smooth, and maintains that gap at the front. And actually setting the fastest lap of the race, 47.477, and really is in a league of his own at the front, starting to pull away all the time. And there he goes up towards the top chicane now, playing it cool, calm and collected, riding his own race, no interference from the chasing pack at the moment. And you can see them there just coming into shot now. And I think it's still Gary McQueen in second place, but Cockayne leads them down the front straight once again. And there we see that little battle for the lead. Looks like Jimmy Kimbo's lost a few places. Richard Rice could have gone through into third place and is starting to pressurise Gary McQueen in second place. So there goes the leader, and let's see who's it going to be in second place. And it looks like Gary McQueen still there in second, with Richard Rice in third. Has a look down the inside, but not quite close enough to snatch that second place. And we see Gary McQueen there with the fluorescent helmet in second place, as the race leader Cockayne starts to close up on some of the back markers. Andy Gambrell, Richard Barnes at the back of the field. They're the first ones. They're going to go a lap down. And there we see number 73, Andy Gambrell, start to be closed up now by the race leader, Martin Cockayne. Nips down the inside of Gambrell. There he goes. And he's got the other tail end in front of him that he nips by with ease as he goes into the first corner. No problems whatsoever for Martin Cockayne, the race leader. And as the time goes by, he looks more and more likely to take the win. He just needs to keep it smooth and stay out of trouble. Goes through the chicane once again, and already you can see just how big a gap he's got. The second and third place battle long behind him now as he closes in on Jerry Concannon, the back marker, who moves to one side and lets the leader through. So no problems at all for Martin Cockayne. He knows he's got the victory, makes his way up towards the final chicane, and it's looking very, very good indeed for Cockayne as he closes in on the checkered flag, makes his way round the final few corners. And now just into these closing laps, Cockayne, I think, knows he's got the lead in the bag. He can see the chasing pack going down the front straight any moment now, and he knows he's got that big gap. He's got some tail enders in front of him, but he just needs to keep it out of trouble as he starts to thread his way through some of the back markers there. Number 53, Stuart Poole, just in front of him. Oh, there's a bit of a midfield carnage there in the background. Several riders going down in that midfield. None of that, of course, bothering the leader. They're all clear. But it looks like the race has been drawn to a close. The red flag goes out. Several riders have gone down. And you can see the riders all slowing down as the race draws to a premature close. And that, I think, will mean that Martin Cockayne will take the checkered flag, as looks like the riders are okay. They just sorted themselves out. Looks like Jimmy Kimber a bit frustrated with the decision there, but unfortunately rider safety is the priority, and Martin Cockayne was indeed awarded the race victory from Gary McQueen in second place, Richard Rice in third.
So joining me now is Oval UK's most famous rider, Ryan Frost. Now Ryan, I know you've been going really well on this bike so far this season. How have you found it at Fulbeck?
It's like really grippy. The tyres grip well with the track.
And how did you find the last round at Teesside on the Oval bike?
Yeah, I crashed and hurt my side a bit.
Oh, you all okay for today though?
Yeah.
And what do you think you're going to get out there in qualifying today?
I'm not really sure. Probably battling with top 5.
So joining me now is Harvey Lathrope, who had a stonking last ride at the last round. Now Harvey, tell me how you got on.
Well, I've had a few problems with my bike because it keeps on backfiring at the big straight. So we fixed that, and yeah, that's...
Have you been out for qualifying yet this morning?
No.
So you've just managed to do practice?
Yeah.
The Junior Supermoto 90 class, or the Bambinos, is for riders aged between 6 and 10 years old. This class provides an excellent introduction into the world of road racing. The Supermoto style bikes run semi-automatic engines with around 7 brake horsepower. Without the requirement to operate a clutch, this class allows the riders to concentrate on maintenance of corner speed and the development of an essential racecraft. So it's all go for the Junior SM90. Down the front straight they go for the first time. Charging away as a look for position, but look at that down the inside. Ryan Frost breaks through the pack and takes the lead by some margin into the first corner. It's Harvey Lathrope, number treble 2, in second place, who we spoke to earlier. Coming under pressure from Thomas Gomes, Maximus Hardy in there as well. But no problems at all for Ryan Frost, your early lead. He goes through the chicane for the first time. And let's see who that is in second place. It looks like it could be Thomas Gomes. We'll wait until he's come back towards us. Yes, indeed it is. Number 98, Thomas Gomes in second place as Lathrope drops to third place. And then the rest of the chasing field go through. Looks like Maximus Hardy, Dylan Jones, Harry Cook, Chase Collymore, with Jack Horsley and Easton Wynne Jones a little bit further behind. They go through the top chicane for the first time. Very close and technical part of the track as Frost gets back on the power. Down the front straight he goes and starts to pull away from Thomas Gomes in second place. Gomes still coming under pressure from Lathrope in third. But Ryan Frost, with that great jump at the start, charged down the straight on the previous lap into the lead. And now he's there. He has no intention of giving that lead up. He's already starting to pull away from the rest of the field as he goes through into the chicane. Nice and easy, nice and smooth. Gets those apexes perfect and starts to pull away from the rest of the field. Oh, a little twitch there from him, but nothing too serious as Thomas Gomes still heads. Harvey Lathrope in third place. There they are having that scrap for second place. Gomes coming under pressure from Lathrope in third, and then the rest of the chasing field make their way through. Maximus Hardy, Dylan Jones, Harry Cook in there as well. But the race leader, Ryan Frost, starts to pull away down the front straight, and look at the gap, all the time increasing. It looks like Ryan Frost with the fastest lap of the race, 55.699, as he really starts to pull away now from Gomes in second place, with Lathrope just shadowing there in third place. We'll see the battle for second place any moment now. Here they are, number 98 in second place, Thomas Gomes, and starting to pull away from Lathrope in third. Gomes has a quick glance over the shoulder, and he knows that Lathrope is not really within striking distance at the moment. So the top three starting to settle down as Ryan Frost starts to pull away. Goes round the back of the circuit once again. And as you can see, Ryan Frost making the race his own as he comes back round to complete another lap. He's got that really tight chicane to go through now. Nips through there nice and smoothly, and then he'll be back on the power any moment now. Round the final corner he goes. Gets hard on the power. round the final corner and through the chicane back onto the front straight. And Ryan Frost, your race leader, really is controlling the race well at the front, pulling away all the time. The gap now well over 10 seconds. He goes through the first corner and looks very, very strong indeed. Got a clean track in front of him. No back markers at the moment, but with that cushion, he doesn't need to take any risks when he starts to come among the slow riders a bit later on. And there he goes through the chicane. Nice and neatly. You can see just how big that gap is between first and second place. Thomas Gomes and Harvey Lathrope still scrapping away for that second place, but Gomes starting to pull away a bit now. Maximus Hardy, Dylan Jones in there as well, rounding out the top 5, with Harry Cook and Chase Collymore a little bit further behind. Jack Horsley and Easton Wynne Jones still scrapping away for that 8th place. And there they go, 1 or 2 of the back markers just been lapped by the race leader Ryan Frost, who takes the checkered flag. So it's a dominant race victory there for number 1 Ryan Frost. Thomas Gomes in second, with Harvey Lathrope in third.
So we're just going to grab a quick word with Matt Wilkinson on the number 11 machine down in the CRF 150 class. Now Matt, you were flying past me this morning. How are you finding the track at Fulbeck?
Yeah, really good. I was here all day yesterday, so we've had some good practice, getting a good setup. You know, the track's good, the bike's going well, it's all good.
Now tell me about your round at Teesside. I know it was a little bit up and down for you, wasn't it?
Yeah. In race 1, I had an off, managed to get back on and finish 9th, and then race 2 I sort of clawed it back a bit and had a 2nd, so good and bad as you said. So fingers crossed for this, you know, this weekend, get some good results, and I'm currently leading, so I just need solid results and then we'll see where we end up.
Consistency is the key, right?
It is, yeah, absolutely.
For those who like to test their technical ability, the PITBIKE Open class allows for 2-stroke and 4-stroke machinery to compete together with no brake horsepower limits. On the same grid are the modified Honda CRF 150 motocross bikes with some serious performance of up to 25 brake horsepower. So the green flag drops for the CRF 150s and of course the PITBIKE Open in there as well. Big group of riders charging down the first straight. And it looks like it could well be, I think that's Martin Cochrane with the early lead, the pit bike rider, with Matthew Wilkinson leading the CRF charge in second place. They make their way through the chicane for the first time. It looks like it could well be Martin Cochrane with the lead, with Matthew Wilkinson not too far behind in second place, leading of course the CRF charge, 77 in there as well. So possibly Simon Betts in third. And the leaders start to spread out as they make their way through the chicane for the first time. As you can see, it's all very, very close indeed on this first lap. Number 292, Ryan Meaden, also well placed amongst the front runners, as Martin Cochrane leads them down the front straight for the first time, leading the pit bike charge, of course, with a whole gaggle of CRF 150s right behind him. Wilkinson starts to close up under braking in second place. Now, can he make that advantage stick as he goes on the back straight and starts to close up on the race leader? Wilkinson, of course, leading the CRF 150 class, but he wants the lead of the race itself. It's Martin Cochrane, your race leader, a little bit further ahead. Wilkinson in second place. And then it looks like Simon Betts, Alan Parker, Sam Jones also well placed amongst the front runners. Number 292 in there as well, Ryan Meaden. So the leading group pretty much unchanged as Wilkinson starts to pull away in second place and puts the leader under some pressure. Number 94 there, there's Sam Jones also amongst the front runners. And the top 2 now really starting to break away from the rest of the field as they go down the front straight. And Wilkinson, of course, closed up under braking on the previous lap and really is starting to close up now as they go into that top hairpin. Cochrane has a quick glance over the shoulder as he sees the second place rider Wilkinson start to close up. And of course, really charging away at the front in this PITBIKE Open class as we head towards the middle stage of the race, and it's all very, very close indeed at the front. Still battling for position there, 292 Meaden and 94 Sam Jones having that bit of a scrap there at the front of the 150 class. 77 also in there as well, and Simon Betts also looking well placed. Martin Cockayne with the great start there. And as one rider goes down, I think that was 77 possibly that went down at the front. And now the top two riders really start to pull away at the front of the field, as Martin Cockayne holds on to the lead, but coming under pressure from Wilkinson in second place, the leader of the Pit Bike Open and the 150 class respectively. And Matthew Wilkinson, number 11 in second place, really starting to pressurise the leader now as they go up towards the top chicane. And it's all looking very, very close indeed. It looks like Simon Betts is moving into third in the race and second in the 150 class. Aaron Parker also keeping the pressure on near the front of the field. Number 1 there as well on the 150. And Wilkinson now really starting to close up on the race leader as they go down the front straight once again. Wilkinson's quick into this top corner now. Can he close up again under braking? He can, but not quite close enough to go for the lead. But now he's all over the rear wheel of the pit bike that leads the way. Martin Cockayne, fastest lap of the race earlier on, 46.335, marginally faster than Wilkinson, but now Matthew Wilkinson, the 150 leader, start to close up in second place as they get amongst the tail enders now. This could be important, as Cockayne runs marginally wide there, which allows Wilkinson to close up. There's the tail enders, and there's three of them having a battle there at the back of the field. That could be tricky for the leaders. They're coming into the fastest part of the track. They have to be brave under braking into this corner. As Martin Cockayne goes down, the front wheel washed out of him there. He's okay, gets back on the bike, tries to get it fired up, and he's still leading the pit bike class. But now that means that number 11, Matthew Wilkinson, who goes past our reporter there, Sophie McGinn, now leads the way unchallenged at the front. And Martin Cockayne, after running so strongly earlier on in the race, is now down in the midfield, but he is still leading, just about leading the Pit Bike Open class. But that means that Matthew Wilkinson takes the win in the 150 class. It was Will Howarth that won the Pit Bike Open class from Martin Cockayne, and Dane Blackburn in third. Matthew Wilkinson, winner of the 150 class from Simon Betts and Aaron Parker. The junior production class sees riders between the ages of 6 and 14 years old running standard 40cc liquid-cooled engines, and the senior open class for riders over the age of 14 on 50cc machines, neither with tuning or modification regulations. This is as fast as mini-moto racing gets, providing close and competitive racing action. So away you go, our mini-moto staggered start here, of course. You see the second group left on the line whilst the junior riders get away first, and then we should be seeing the green flag any moment now for our heavyweight class in just a few moments. And it looks like Ross Maguire leads the junior class into the first corner. Then the green flag drops for the heavies, the senior group. So just under a third of a lap head start for our junior riders as they make their way through to the top of the course. So all riders now underway as the junior class starts to spread out somewhat, with Ross Maguire leading the way around for the first time. It looks like it will be Jack Hart in second place and Aidan Davey in third, number 38. In terms of the lightweight class, they come round the final corner, back onto the straight. Of course, they have got that chicane halfway down the front straight, and then chasing away just a little bit further behind our senior group, split into lights and heavies. Looks like Will Howarth, Justin Bainbridge in there as well. Paul Nichols, Danny Fuller also amongst the front runners, but at the front of the pack we see the junior class, Ross Maguire and Jack Hart, still scrapping away for the front. And there they go into the top corner as Hart has a look down the inside of Maguire. Now, has he made the pass stick? No, he hasn't, is the answer to that one. But Ross Maguire, your race leader, coming under all sorts of pressure at the front. And there was very briefly number 96, Will Howarth, and he's leading the senior class, although, Jack Hart had another look down the inside. Aidan Dave a little bit further behind. And then we see more action there from the senior class. It looks like Howarth still leading the way. There he is, number 96. With Justin Bainbridge also in there. Paul Nichols looks like amongst the front runners there as well. And all still very, very close indeed. A bit further down the field in the senior class, but already the leading riders in the junior class starting to close up on the tail enders, and Ross Maguire and Jack Hart still having that great scrap for the lead. There they are, neck and neck for the lead as they go in towards the top chicane. There's some more back marks in front though, as Maguire, number 22, holds on to the lead making his way up towards the final corner. Aidan Davey, number 38, even Belford in there as well, number 52. All very close indeed. Now the leaders are clear of the tail enders. There's number 96, your race leader in the senior class, Will Howarth, charging away down the back straight up towards the chicane. And there he is, he's about to be lapped by our leaders in the junior class, of course. Don't forget the senior class did have that staggered start, so they are a little bit further behind. But Ross Maguire and Jack Hart now scything their way through the tail enders, but they're still scrapping for the lead. And it's all very close indeed as Howarth maintains that gap. He's still almost a lap behind, of course. But Ross Maguire and Jack Hart, there they are neck and neck into the top few corners. Very, very tight and technical through here. So they were hoping for a clear run through past the back markers. Here they come. They've got a clean track in front of them. And Maguire leads Hart in second. Then it's our tail enders. There's number 96, the leader of the senior class, Will Howarth. Howarth negotiates the first corner, that 180-degree right-hand hairpin. Goes down the back straight up towards the chicane. And then still our leaders of the race scrapping away. Howarth just ahead of them, maintaining the pace of the race leaders. But very, very close indeed between Maguire and Hart in second. As the race starts to close down, they're still closing up on these tail enders as they scythe their way through the pack. And it looks like Maguire's still leading the way from Hart. Jack Hart in second place. Ross Maguire, your race leader, though, maintaining that pressure at the front. And there's still number 96, Will Howarth, leading the senior class. And then there's a few of the midfield runners still scrapping away behind him. 96, though, Will Howarth, the leader of the senior class, still charging away and looking strong at the front. Just a little bit further behind him, though, we still see our leaders. They should be coming through any moment now. There they are, Ross Maguire and Jack Hart still scrapping away for the lead. We just saw Howarth still leading the race momentarily in the senior class. And there he is once again. But it's all very close indeed at the front still between Maguire and Hart. Very, very close battle indeed. The senior class still as close as ever at the front as the junior riders start to scythe their way through some more of the tail enders. Starting to close up again on Will Howarth, who's still charging away and leading this senior class as it draws to a conclusion. So it looks like a good race win so far for Will Howarth in the senior class. But who's going to win the lightweights, the juniors? It's very, very close at the front between Ross Maguire and Jack Hart as we go into the closing stages. There they are, the two race leaders neck and neck for the lead as we go into the closing stages now. They'll be coming down the front straight any moment now, and there they are neck and neck as Hart in second place, the rider with the red leathers, starts to really apply the pressure on the race. Oh, we had a look down the inside of Maguire, and there we still see Will Howarth leading the way in the senior class, and there's our two race leaders. Very, very close indeed. Hart has looked around the outside. They got the back marker, though. The back marker bulks the two race leaders, and Hart has to try again as they go into the chicane, but time is running out. It looks like Maguire could well be holding on for the checkered flag, and it's a race win only just there for Ross Maguire in the junior class from Jack Hart in second. Aidan Davey in third. Will Howarth took the win in the senior class, with Paul Nichols winning the heavies.
So we managed to catch up with Chloe Jones down here in the paddock. So Chloe, a little bit of a jump onto something brand new for you.
Yeah, it's much bigger. I can only just touch the floor as well.
So I know you did a couple of tests yesterday on it. How was that?
Well, it was quite good because I got my knee down and I beat 3 of the mini GPs that have been doing it for about a year now. And yeah.
That's good stuff. Now, I know you are naturally quick on the mini bikes. Have you found much of a difference from going from that to this?
Well, this is not the same as like all the pit bikes, but it's the same as mini GPs, but I just need to get used to going, if I want to go up, I have to go down. And it's a bit weird.
With the gearing?
Yeah.
And what's the major difference apart from the gearing that you found?
The clutch. Because normally you have a brake there, but there's a clutch there now, so it's a bit weird when I go from one bike to another.
For the next MotoGP or BSB rider, the Mini GP class allows riders the chance to race bikes with fairings. Several types of bike run within this class, all scoring points within their own championship. This class is for riders between 10 and 15 years of age and provides the perfect foundation to start a career in road racing. Away we go with the Mini GP. One rider there almost looped it out at the start, but recovered well. They go charging down the front straight, and there was, I think it was number 83, actually, Harris Beach at a moment there, but leading the way, number 24, Ryan Frost, into the first corner as they battle for position. And these bikes very much looking like scaled-down versions of the MotoGP bikes, very impressive machines. They go through the chicane for the first time, but Ryan Frost with a great start leads the way. Harris Beach also well placed, and it's all very, very close at the front as Ryan Frost leads the way. Looks like it could be Lewis Jones well placed just behind him in the 140 class as the rest of the field make their way through for the first time. And it's all a bit tight and technical in that top hairpin, and then they'll open out into position. We just saw there number 41, Kyle Tinker, well placed amongst the front of the field. As the rest of the field make their way through those final corners, Ryan Frost leads the way down the front straight, starts to pull away into that first corner. It looks like it could well be Lewis Jones, the leader of the slightly larger 140 class. Has a quick glance over the shoulder, and you can see that along with the race leader, those two starting to break away from the rest of the field, headed of course by this guy here, number 24, Ryan Frost. Had that great start to take the early lead, and the only rider really keeping up at the moment looks like Lewis Jones. Ryan Frost though starts to really put the pace on as he makes his way up towards the final few corners. The rest of the chasing field making their way through there. Looks like Harvey Harris, Rossi Brown, Ben Austin, Ben Taylor in amongst the front runners of the Mini GP class. The 140s, Harris Beach, Kyle Tinker, Reese Wynn Jones and Corey Tinker in there as well, as the leader there, Ryan Frost, goes past the finish line, setting the fastest lap of the race, 52.647, and starts to pull away ever so slightly at the front. And there in second place, that looks like could probably still be Lewis Jones in second, as they start to break away from the rest of the field up towards the chicane. And those two race leaders all the time pulling away from the rest of the pack. Ryan Frost though, your race leader, starting to pull away at the front now. He set the fastest lap on that previous lap and now starting to get to work. Looks very consistent and just eking away a small advantage at the front as he looks to really put a stranglehold on this race. And we still see a bit of a midfield scrap there. Harris Beach, Harvey Harris in there, and it looks like Kyle Tinker a little bit further behind as your race leader Ryan Frost continues to pull away, goes round the final corner, back on the power, down the main straight he goes, and looking very strong indeed, pulling away all the time as he goes charging into the first corner. And there he goes with Lewis Jones a little bit further behind, but still leading the 140 class. Those two really controlling the race well at the front, but Ryan Frost all the time pulling away, goes through that really tight chicane, gets the apex there absolutely perfect as he goes up towards the top corner. That little battle there a little bit further behind, still raging away a bit further down the field, but none of this of course concerning Ryan Frost, or not for that matter Lewis Jones either. Those two really are controlling the race well at the front. There they go through the top chicane, and Ryan Frost continuing to pull away all the time. He goes round the final corner, back onto the straight and back on the power, goes flying down the front straight and all the time pulling away. And this race really starting to settle down at the front between those top two riders, but still that battle raging away. Looks like Harris Beach there, second in the 140 class, now third in the race. At that moment at the start, the bike got a little bit away from him, but he recovered it well and now looks strong in the third place. And we see once again the aerial footage as Lewis Jones negotiates the chicane but can't do anything about Ryan Frost, your race leader at the moment. Ryan Frost, there he is, number 24, your race leader, goes into this tighter part of the track, really starts to get very close and tight indeed. This really tricky little chicane, but stays smooth and goes through there with ease, as does Lewis Jones in second, but still Frost, number 24, your race leader, controlling things at the front. He goes round the final corner, back down the straight once again, and takes the checkered flag. So it's a race win for Lewis Jones in the GP 140 class from Harris Beach and Kyle Tinker. In the Mini GP class, it was Ryan Frost from Harvey Harris and Rossi Brown in third. So we go straight through into our next race, which is the PITBIKE 140 Group B. One rider, oh, problems at the start. One rider faulted at the start, was collected by a tail ender, and another rider down in the melee. Let's hope they're okay. They're all up on their feet. The marshals very quickly on hand to pick those up. those fallen machines up there. I think it was Danny Underwood, Phil Taylor and Luke Beard in that melee. The riders are okay, but they are out of the race. And at the front, let's see who it is that leads the way in these early stages. It looks like number 997, Marty Harrington. And all these front runners escaping the melee on the first corner, with Julian Gromit, Brendan Allen in there as well. And the rest of the field filter their way through for the first time. Now let's see, have the marshals managed to clear away that incident on the start straight as the leaders come back round towards us for the first time? And let's hope so, as they make their way around the final corner. And Marty Harrington, your race leader, yellow flags just up there on the finish line, as the marshals still clearing away that spectacular start line crash. There are some stationary bikes on the side of the track there, so the leader's taking it nice and easy down the straight for the first time. And we should be getting a clear track very smoothly, although they are slowing down. Well, problems there, because one rider went charging through, didn't see the riders had slowed down, so we are under full course yellows by the looks of things. To see the riders slowing right down whilst they, the marshals still deal with that incident on the start straight, and there the riders cruising round now. Any moment now we should be getting the all clear from the marshals just as soon as that incident safely dealt with. Perhaps there may be some oil on the track or debris possibly, which they just need to clear up, although it looks like the flags have gone in. We'll wait and see when they come back towards the finish line. The riders picking up the pace, and we should be under full race conditions any moment now. And there we are, good clear track, and away they go down the front straight. Racing is back on. They go in towards the first corner with Marty Harrington still leading the way. Although it looks like there's been a change of lead. I think Julian Gromit it was that took the lead possibly. We'll wait and see. As they shuffle there amongst the full course yellows, it's all back towards racing now, and Harrington, your early race leader, now down to second place. And it's actually number 75 then, Julian Gromit. He is indeed the leader as they go through in towards the top corner. Harrington, Allen and Broadway also amongst the front runners. There we saw Ben Broadway, one of our race winners earlier on today, of course, up there amongst the front runners in this pit bike 140 stock class. All very, very close indeed as they make their way around the final few corners, with Julian Gromit still leading the way. Marty Harrington in second place. They go past the finish line to complete another lap, charging down the front straight. And let's see if, well, Harrington tries to close upon the braking, but Julian Gromit still controlling the race at the front. The top two breaking away ever so slightly at the front. They go back towards that little gnarly little chicane there. We've got the left right switch, bus stop style chicane there, but the leading group go through there nice and smoothly. Brendan Allen and Ben Broadway also in there as well. Nick Edlin, Alex Abbey, Josh Foreman a little bit further behind. Marty Harrington starting to pressurise Julian Gromit for the lead now, getting very, very close indeed as they go in towards the final few corners, very tight part of the course. And Marty Harrington starting to close up as they go up towards the final few corners. And now let's see if Harrington can get the drive on Gromit. Down the front straight they go, all very close at the front. And Marty Harrington goes for the drive now. Can he get Gromit under braking? But Julian Gromit's got the line. Harrington has a look though down the inside. There was a little bit of a gap left there. Harrington had a little look, but Julian Gromit, the race leader, closes the door as they go back up towards the top chicane once again. They filter their way through that bus stop style chicane. Back on the power as they go up towards the very top of the course, very tight and technical. And it's all starting to close up at the front as Harrington continuing to pressurise Gromit now, and he's right on the rear wheel once again of Julian Gromit, the race leader. As they come back towards us, there he is, number 75, Julian Gromit, your race leader, but now coming under pressure from Marty Harrington in second place. They go charging down the front straight. Third and fourth place a little bit further behind as Harrington has another look down the inside. Now, can he make the pass this time? Oh, they're neck and neck round the first corner. There we see number 23, Brendan Allen, in fourth place. But let's see who it is that got the lead. It was very, very close indeed on that first corner. And it looks like it's still Julian Gromit in the lead. So Marty Harrington is going to have to try and start again. Let's see what he can do. He's all over the rear wheel of Julian Gromit now. Fastest lap of the race there for Marty Harrington, 51.880. And now just outshot. Oh, as another one of the front runners goes down. went down hard there. Oh, and almost collected number 23, Brendan Allen. Might have been Liam Greenland possibly, but taking the win at the death there, Marty Harrington, number 997, your race winner from Julian Gromit, and Brendan Allen in third. The PITBIKE Stock 140 class is for riders over the age of 14, providing cost-effective and fast-paced racing where you don't get beaten by the bike, but by the rider. Whether you're progressing from the junior classes, a hobby racer, or a seasoned professional, this class will test your riding skill and racing ability. So here we go with our last race of the day, PITBIKE 140 Group A. The onboard footage shows just how quickly things get away at the start. They charge into the first corner, and it looks like number 28 possibly early racer. Oh, it was carnage there in the midfield. Jake Shepherd, our onboard rider, has to pick his way through the melee. Several riders down on the first corner. 770 there, Jonathan Relton, one of the fallers. I think they're all okay. That looks like could be Ben Lord, your race leader, Jim Lavelle. Just behind that, it's all very close. Oh, carnage there, as that's Ben Lord there, number 48, taken out there unintentionally by Matt Bolsover. Jake Shepherd there in the midfield, picks his way through the fallers. And another one goes down. Carnage at the first lap. Several riders then out of contention as they get back on the bike and into the action. There's Jim Lavelle on board, now all the way up to third place. 28, your race leader. 114, the machine there of Dane Blackburn. As I look down the inside, and Jim Lavelle right on the tail there in third position. Go up towards the chicane, and the top three battle there. Very, very close indeed. There we are, back with Lavelle in third place, right on the rear wheel of Dane Blackburn. And it's all very close in towards the top corner. There we see some of the debris from the first lap melee. So it could be possibly Rob Coxling, the race leader. 28 on the bike. Blackburn there in second place, Lavelle in third. The top three now really starting to break away from the rest of the field. Three-way tussle for the lead now as they go down the front straight. Who's going to be the bravest on the brakes as they charge down the front straight? Blackburn has a look down the inside, Lavelle just shadowing in third place, and it's very, very close indeed into that first corner. Oh, and there's some bit of a bar bang in there, struggling for grip on that first corner. Jake Shepherd we cut back to there in the midfield, currently in around 10th place. There's action all the way through this PITBIKE 140 class. Still too close to call at the front as they make their way up towards the final few corners. Jim Lavelle there back again, now into second place. That's Ben Bailey, I think, actually a race lead, number 28. So Bailey leads the way, and Lavelle in second place, I beg your pardon, of course, and Blackburn in third. It's all so tricky to keep in touch with there. They're all jostling for position, and who's going to win this race is impossible to predict really. Lavelle has a look at Bailey shadowing there on the slipstream down the front straight. He's going to go down and on the inside under the braking. Not quite though, because Bailey shuts the door on that first corner. But they'll have to try again, and still Dane Blackburn on his tail there in third place. Has a look down the inside of Lavelle, but Lavelle's got that line covered and trying to put the leader under some pressure. Still this three-way scrap charging away at the front. Lavelle still in second place, Bailey leads, Blackburn third. Cut back there to Jake Shepherd. And there we see number 48, Ben Lord, nip through, who went down on the first lap, and he's picking his way through the field ever so slowly. Went down to last place on the first lap, and now well and truly in the top 10 as he looks to try and get back amongst the front runners, although the top three now really starting to pull away at the front. Jim Lavelle then right on the rear wheel of number 28, Ben Bailey, your race leader. Has a look down the inside of Bailey, goes to the pass and makes the pass stick. So brave move there from Jim Lavelle as he nips down the inside of Ben Bailey. Bailey trying to fight back. So there we see Lavelle with the clean track in front of him. Will we see Bailey go through? Not on the chicane at least, so Jim Lavelle starts to pull away at the front as Bailey comes under pressure from Blackburn in third. Dane Blackburn actually the fastest lap of the race, 47.595, as he starts to close up on Bailey, the second place rider. Lavelle starting to pull away at the front. They go up towards the final corner, back down the front straight, and there we see some of the tail enders. They may well come into play in the closing stages of the race. So Lavelle leads the way, and look at this for second place now as Blackburn has a look down the inside of Bailey. Oh, but not close enough to make the pass. Bailey's got that inside line, holds on to it, makes it stick as Blackburn has a look on the outside, on the exit of the corner, had the drive out of the first corner. But he's not quite close enough to go for the pass as Ben Bailey, number 28, holds on to that second place. And this is all allowing Lavelle, number 97, our onboard rider, to start to pull away. Just a small gap, around 1.5 seconds maybe between first and second, but that battle for second place really starting to hot up as Dane Blackburn is now the fastest rider on the track, but he cannot get past Bailey in second place, which means that Lavelle, number 97, starts to pull away as he goes down the front straight. And yet again, that drag race for second place. Who's going to be the bravest on the brakes? Blackburn has a look down the inside of Bailey and this time makes the pass. Now, will Bailey get him on the outside, on the exit of the corner? No is the answer. He tries. He has a look down the inside and this time, whoa, makes the pass stick. But not quite. Bailey got repassed there by Blackburn as they make their way up towards the final few corners. Still headed by number 97, Jim Lavelle. And now Blackburn's through into second place. So Lavelle, number 97, now with a clean track, but Blackburn clear into second place and starting to close up ever so slightly on the race leader, 97, Jim Lavelle, and he's pulling along Ben Bailey in third place. There's Lavelle, clean track in front though. There is a back marker. So as you can see now, Jim Lavelle starting to pull away at the front in these closing stages, though Dane Blackburn still shadowing there in second place and keeping him under pressure in that second position. Blackburn keep the pressure on, but Lavelle started to close up on the tail enders. Now, could this play a part in these closing stages? And there we see them closing up on the tail ender as Lavelle then nips down the inside of him. No problems at all whatsoever. There we saw Bailey just in shot there in third place, but Lavelle now with a clear track in front of him. And then number 414, that's Lawrence Wardle, about to be lapped by the second place rider. I think Blackburn's just got through on the approach to the finish straight. And Jim Lavelle there, number 97, starts to pull away once again, takes advantage of the back marker and pulls a small gap. There we see number 114 still charging away in second place. Dane Blackburn, now he's clear, starting to close up on that race leader. So Jim Lavelle, what can he do to maintain that gap at the front? He's going as hard as he can now through in towards the tightest part of the course. And Blackburn now starts to close up in second place. There we see Bailey in third, so the top three riders all clear of the back marker. It's a straight fight between the top three as Dane Blackburn starts to close up on Jim Lavelle. With Ben Bailey, the early race leader, number 28, still shadowing in third place. There he is in third, number 28. Ben Bailey with Lawrence Wardle, the 414, nipping through, currently a lap down. One lap to go then for Jim Lavelle. Blackburn still shadowing in second place, but time is running out then for Dane Blackburn in second place. Ben Bailey still watching in third place. But at the moment it looks like it's a straight fight between Jim Lavelle, your race leader, number 97, and Dane Blackburn in second place. Half a lap to go then as Blackburn tries to close up. Lavelle still charging away at the front. And there's Blackburn. One last push then for Blackburn there in second place, number 114, doing all he can to close up, but he's running out of time. Just a couple more corners to go then for Jim Lavelle, your race leader. There he is, number 97. Blackburn in second there, Bailey just watching in third. But it looks like Lavelle's going to hold on to take the checkered flag, goes round the final corner. And there we see rider's eye view of the checkered flag as Jim Lavelle takes the win. It was Dane Blackburn in second place with Ben Bailey in third.
So that was a roundup of all today's racing here at the historic Fulbeck. I'm Sophie McGinn and I'll catch you next time on Motors TV.
If you want to get involved with the British Minibike Series, why not join us at the next round of the Championship? Our next round is at Red Lodge on the 21st and 22nd of May. followed by Lydd on the 18th and 19th of June. We go to Wilton Mill on the 9th and 10th of July. Before returning to Fulbeck on the 27th and 28th of August. Round number 8 is at Rower on the 17th and 18th of September. We go to Rednall on the 8th and 9th of October. And rounding things off on the 29th and 30th of October at Wilton Mill. For more information, visit the website at www.britishminibikes.com. Mini bike racing is probably the cheapest and easiest form of motorsport to get involved in. Riders from all walks of life and age groups take part in the sport, from our youngest riders at 6 years old all the way up through to our veteran riders. For the youth riders, bikes are available from £750 new and race ready. For adult riders, bikes start from £1,200 new and race ready. Second-hand bikes do occasionally become available, and they're available to view on the British Mini Bikes website. Join us for the next round of the British Mini Bike series here on Motors TV.